Dutchman is in the house. Quack, quack, quack. Okay. I'm attempting here to start making some Christmas ornaments. That time of year, like I said, I planed down this stuff, and I got a bunch more I gotta make. I got a couple more I want to make, but I'm gonna make one of these. Except I'm gonna make, where is it? I'm gonna try and make one of these. Only my way. My way or the highway. I want to make some ornaments. There's some really pretty stuff on here. You got the bell. So I'm gonna start making some weird stuff like me. Weird. You know, that's what I like about it. Anyway, that picture with the bell, that's by Bob Rosen. This book here I got is really good. Wood turning Christmas ornaments. Now, if you wanna get a copy or something, I'll post what I do out of this. Whether it comes out the way I want it or not is different, but so look, here's a little turnout stuff. I mean, a birdhouse things or whatever. So there's some really cool stuff to turn on here. Now the finials, the hardest part. I'm going to attempt to do it again. I did one once and it didn't turn out the way I wanted, but anyway. Now, this one here, if I can find it. These shapes are cool. So my idea is to make something in these. Maybe it might be shaped like this, but I might try and drill some stuff in there. You can see my hair's a mess. That's like I might take some dowel rods and do it and put dots in there, dots. But this is a good book. Here's another one for making tops, spinning tops. And it's pretty simple. You can make your own spinning top things. There's one in here I really think it's kind of cool. It's a handle, the classic top, it says. So you make one of these. Yeah, I might try that. Once. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I want to get everything down to this thickness. It's about 1/2 inch. Because what I'm going to do, once I get the other two pieces done, I'm going to sandwich them all together. I'm just going to glue them like this. And I'll probably cut them to size first. I got a few I'm going to cut them all to this size. And then I'm going to try and, what my idea is here is to make it square first. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm just going to shape it round, cylindrical, before I get too carried away. Then I'm going to drill some holes in it. I'm going to make a pattern in there for the dowel rods. So we'll see how that works. It's an attempt to do an attempt. But here's the thing. It's going to be a little bit noisy, so I just thought I'd show you what I was going to attempt to do. So I've got this. This is my thickness planer. It's a Craftsman thickness planer. And there's a couple of adjustments on here. I still have to figure out how to adjust the wheels. I don't know if the wheels adjust or not. I keep messing with it. Unfortunately, the front cover on here broke a little bit. I have to see if I can't send it away for that. But anyway, this thing actually works pretty good. But I can tell you a couple of things. One is I've got about 1,000 feet down here underneath the cabinet that is finished wood. It's finished wood flooring. red oak flooring. I love it. It's great for making things. But here's the problem. I have to take and plane it down. I have to plane the bottom and the top, and then you have to cut the corners off. And it'd be like this. Okay, so I plan this down. I believe this is right. I don't know. Yeah, this is right. I plane this down. So now the second thing you do after you plane it down on both sides is you got to cut the mortise and tenon part. See, this is the tongue and groove, or say the tongue and groove. This is the tongue, and this is the groove. So by the time you do that, it's about 2 inches from there to there. And you have to allow for that for whatever you're going to make. Okay, so I've made furniture out of this. I've made bowls out of this. It's kind of fun. It's an easy project to scrap wood. I mean, I got it from Lowe's, actually. For $20, I got 1,000 feet. So there you go. The guy that I know works there. So here's the thing. Sometimes it pays to have somebody in a store, right? But sometimes they get rid of stuff. It's boxes that are already open, and people were buying pieces you're not supposed to. And then maybe bad batch might come through with the finish and they don't like it. What I'll do, and they'll turn it, and it's an open box, right? So they'll call me. Problem is, I'm overstocked and I haven't done anything. I'd like to make some furniture out of this. I actually made one of my tables that's in a hallway table, all of this stuff. It's great to work with. It's awesome. Easy wood to work with. The only problem is it's only 2 inches wide. It's not like, some of these. So, but you make whatever with it. I've made all kinds of stuff. I make Christmas trees with that stuff too, so it's kind of fun. So, okay, so what I'm going to do with this, now I set it up to a certain height. I have to raise it. I use this for a template to how far down to go. The problem with this thing is it's an old thing. It's probably about 20 some odd years old. Runs good to a point. There's a couple of things you want to know about it. One is, all right, this thing is like a filter for where it blows up. I've got this hooked up to my Powermatic vacuum down here. And I don't know if you guys see it, but I'll lower you down. You're lowering you down. Okay, so this thing goes down to my Powermatic vacuum. You can't see it, which is over there. This thing will suck. I mean, this thing really sucks. I mean, really sucks. That's one thing I can say about it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm taking it down, hooked up in this. The thing is that you want to be careful of. Okay, so which way is the grain going? You don't want to go in it this way with the going against the grain. It'll shoot it back out. It makes a mess of everything. You always want to go with the grain. Never want to go against the grain. And the other thing is, I've done this with a jig where I could send it. This is before I got a joiner. What it is the joiner takes part of this off. It'll straighten this. If you have any dog legs with a jointer, the joiner actually will keep it straight, flattens it down, and it keeps it straight. So if you go like this, and you want to keep it, when you're gluing two things together, there's a machine finish on there, see? So you'll never get rid of that black line unless you go through the jointer. You want to get it straight, you want to get that roughness out of it. Whenever you use a table saw and you cut something, you want to be able to use that joiner on this to clear up and get it straight, so when you want to glue two pieces together, it won't have so much of a line. And the other thing is, when you're doing that, it's highly recommended. See, if I glued two pieces up, like you see that? That's the way I cut it down the middle. So you want to keep the grain in the same direction. Sometimes I go like this. If I go like this, this is how they do tables. They'll put something in the middle, try to keep the grain. I can do that. It's kind of neat. So resin tables are kind of neat. When they do those, split and then they have resin in the middle or epoxy. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to show you what it does real quick. It's going to be noisy. I'm only going to run it for a second there. I love to walk around and go like that trigger finger. Okay, so one thing you want to do with this thickness planer. Now, here's the problem with this. Reason you can't see me is it should be on standing the other way, but anyway, one thing about my thickness planer is there's an issue sometimes with the way it cuts. All right, see, it's hard to see on here. You see it's a little bit thinner, and then there's more here and there's there. You see it? You see it? Class? All right, class. So this had a problem one time. The chain came off. It's got a plastic chain, not a steel chain. And it did come off in here once. So lining it up to make sure that it's flat all the way across is difficult, because now you got to make sure that when you put it back together, that it's pretty level, because what happens is one side might, if you run it here, it might be too thick, too much taken off. You move it here, it might be too much, not enough taken off. So what I like to do is run some lines across. Okay, so that'll tell you, if you ever work on one of these, that'll tell you if it's running, if you're getting an even plane. And then taking a tape measure and measuring too, or calipers. All right. So what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to leave the other one off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you see, I marked it, right? Okay, so what I do here is I'll mark the sides. Okay, so I marked the sides. See? So that line tells me that's where I want to go for the thickness. So I'm getting down, want it to be this size. There's a lot of different ways to really keep track of what you're doing. The biggest problem, the biggest problem with this is it's noisy and it's messy. Now I didn't turn the vacuum on. You can see what it does. It throws sawdust shavings all over the place. So if you have a shop vac, roll around shop vac, you can plug that in there. It works great. I've used it on there before. The Powermatic vacuum I got is pretty good size, and it takes up a lot of room. So, you know, if you've got small space and you got to be portable like me, that's the easiest way to go is to hook up is to have things portable. Something like this is pretty easy. I made the top for it, and I made the base for it, and I put wheels on it. Well, the thing about this, when I got this part here, you can make it out of 2x4s, but this thing was off my old portable saw that blew up on me. So I've gone through like 3 of them. I have to have a portable saw in here. I can't put a big one in. If I did, I would have no room. It would be crazy. I mean, I'd have to sit it in a spot right here where all this stuff would have to go down there. Nah, that's not gonna happen. So anyway, I can take that to the bank. So, couple of things too. Safety first. Use goggle earmuffs, or you'll be deaf like me, and then your wife will be yelling at you, going, "What?" You know. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta finish this. I don't want to run this and have you guys watching me make a mess and hearing my noise. So I'll be back on later. I'm gonna fine tune everything, get it ready to show you what I'm doing. So stay tuned. It's Christmas time. Again, I challenge you guys to make something. Make your own Christmas presents. I have a party to go to for my club meeting next month, and it's always an adventure for the club meeting. It's a potluck, and it works out great. I think there's about 20 or 30 of us show up, and it's fun. It's totally fun. But the challenge is everybody has to make something, has to turn something. And this year, I'm going to make something a little bit different than I normally do, or attempt anyway. So you guys have a great day. Remember, it's Christmas time. It's the holidays. There's nothing that speaks more about a really nice present is if you make it, no matter what it is. Birdhouses, just decorations for the house for the holidays. Be creative. That's all I say is be creative. With that note, I'm out of here. Again, remember, if you're not making sawdust, you're not being creative. So get with the program. God bless. See ya.